Good morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 48. Please subscribe. There's nothing to fear. That's today's lesson. There's nothing to fear. Throughout the workbook, there will be many lessons that simply state a fact. That is today's lesson. It's simply stating a fact. The fact is, there's nothing to fear. However, it's not a fact. It doesn't seem believable to those who do believe in illusions. But illusions are not facts. Illusions are smoke and mirrors and things that I've made up in my mind, none of them being real. We know the acronym for fear, I'm pretty sure everyone does, that it is false evidence appearing real. It's false. And throughout the course, we also will have the statement that truth is true and nothing else is true. So if it's false to begin with, it will never be true. So fear will never be true. I might try to make it that way. I might be led with my ego mind into places that I think fear is real. But when I peel it back, I realize it's all illusion. None of it has any substance to it, and there's no reason for me to be afraid. Now, today's lesson is certainly a continuation from yesterday's, that, God is my strength in which I trust. God is the strength in which I trust. And especially with the very first line of yesterday's lesson being, if you are trusting in your own strength, you have every reason to be apprehensive, anxious, and fearful. Because if I'm trusting in my own strength, I'm going to believe that illusions are true. So that's why I will be apprehensive, anxious, and fearful, but I don't have to be. The practicing for today's very short, very simple, very easy lesson is to simply repeat the idea as often as possible throughout the day. You can do it with your eyes open. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it with one hand tied behind your back. Simply say, there's nothing to fear in any situation, particularly that seems to be making you feel anxious or angst in any way, or even angry. There's nothing to fear here. The third paragraph, and there's only 3 paragraphs in today's lesson, that the presence of fear is a sure sign that you are trusting in your own strength. God is my strength in which I trust. So if I'm trusting in my own strength, I have every reason to be anxious, apprehensive, and fearful. But if I'm not trusting in my own strength, if I am trusting in the strength of God, I will never come to this space of fear. But if I do, then I know that I have in my mind moved away from God's strength and went into what I believe is my own. And I was led there through my ego thoughts saying, you've got this, you can handle this. Maybe not, but I don't have to, because I have mighty, mighty companions beside me all the time, wanting only to guide me into the peace and the joy and the safety and the protection of God's love. So there is nothing to fear, and I have wonderful companions to hold me up, to keep me out of my fearful mind. And I just want to reread it because it's from yesterday's lesson, but it's so beautiful that there is a place in you where there is perfect peace. And in that perfect, peaceful place, there is no fear. And there is a place in you where nothing is impossible because there is no fear to hold me back. And there is a place in you where the strength of God abides, and there is no fear that resides there with me. So that's it. That's it. The one thing about the practicing, it is very often, but it says that, if you forget, look at yourself, and am I forgetting because I don't believe this, or am I too busy? Well, it always says, the instant you're willing to change your mind about the lesson, start it up again. There is nothing to fear. That's it. So please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. Love the comments. Please pray. Pray for the recognition that there's nothing to fear to come to each and every part of the sonship today. Okay? Namaste.